What's up, folks? Jesse Thomas here. This is entitled My Struggle. This is my story. Now, you may relate, you might like it, you might not. As a matter of fact, some of my family members might not like the fact that I'm telling this story. However, it's been weighing on my chest, and I want to get it out there, and hopefully it inspires some folks. So let me take you back to '09, right? So '09 was a great time in my life. I had just graduated college with my degree in sports management. I was a certified personal trainer. I was just hired on full-time by Athletic Republic. They were a sports and fitness facility in St. Joe, Missouri that I got my internship while I was in college. So I was excited. I was on top of the world, right? I was doing something I absolutely love, which was training athletes on following their goals and pursuing their next highest achievements, right? Besides doing it myself, I wanted nothing more. So I'm having a great time. I'm working with them for, the next 2 years. And within that time frame, me and my wife decided to have another child. We had our first kid when I was 19 in college, and thought that was going to be the hardest time of my life. But we figured it out, toughed our way through. So anyway, long story short, God decides to throw us a curveball. Instead of one more kid, he blesses with two. That's right, twins. And while it is a blessing at the time, it was scary. I didn't know how I was going to handle it. I didn't know how I was going to be responsible or be able to afford two more kids. And Athletic Republic at the time just wasn't cutting it. While it was something I absolutely loved to do, wasn't paying the bills quite right. So I decided to get a job with Enterprise Rent-A-Car and, work my way up the corporate ladder, so to speak. And I was doing just that, actually. I was working pretty damn hard, and I was moving up pretty fast. So one Friday morning, an email goes out to the company, and an announcement that I was promoted to management. And I was like, this is it. This is why I work 60, 65 hours a week. We got it, baby. We're making it, right? So later that afternoon, we actually had an award banquet for the top salesman of the month, which I was also a part of, and I was honored. So I went, and how do we celebrate there? Well, we celebrate with toast, right? With a few drinks. And when everybody knows that you just got a new job and you're moving up, well, they want to buy you more shots and drinks. And at 25, who are you to say no, right? It's the time of your life. Well, later that night, I get pulled over by the police, and I'm over the legal limit. Slightly, barely, but rules are rules, and that's what it is. So I got a DUI. I got put in county for the day, put in the holding tank. I was I had to be in there so long that I had to call my management and tell them that I couldn't be at the store to open up. It was embarrassing. It was scary. It was one of the scariest moments of my life. Obviously, working for a car company, you think to yourself, well, you have a job in the morning. How are you going to support your family? What are you going to do? I was ashamed. I didn't have a drinking problem. I was a young kid out having a good time. I made a mistake. What am I going to do? This is going to ruin my entire life. Well, because of the personal relationships that I had built and the hard work that I put in, they kept me on, and they sent me to KCI Airport. And that would just start the hardest year of my life. I mean, I worked 3 hours, 3 days in a row, 13-hour shifts, 1 day off, 2 days on, morning, sleet, snow, you name it. Like, it was miserable. I searched and searched to try to find other jobs, and hiring managers loved me, but the HR departments wouldn't take a risk on me because of my legal situation. I was in the worst shape of my life because of my eating habits and working these morning shifts, these night shifts. I wasn't seeing my family. I still was training on the side. Whatever other little free time that I had, all I wanted to do was sleep, because you just came off of working 3 days in a row, 13-hour shifts, being on your feet. It was crazy. As a result, obviously, my marriage was in shambles. I wasn't seeing my wife. I wasn't putting in the work. She wasn't happy with me. I didn't know what to do. I was in a bad place. But this isn't even it. To put the sprinkles on top, me and my sister realized that my father had a drinking problem. Ironically enough, right? While I'm dealing with this situation. So we go to my dad, and we ask my dad to get some help, right? To get some help. And We even go to a clinic, and he didn't want to stay. He didn't want to stay, and I didn't know how to handle it at the time. I was young, immature. I didn't talk to him for a while. I couldn't understand how a man could make these sacrifices for his kids. So I get a call a couple weeks later, and my mom tells me that my dad is in the hospital. He had fallen at home and hit his head. He was in a coma for a couple weeks. We'll go to the hospital and talk to him. He wouldn't move, wouldn't speak, nothing. Well, come to find out that he fell because he was at home actually trying to detox himself. He was having withdrawals. He lost consciousness and fell and hit his head pretty hard, obviously. Now, this would start an onset of seizures. And he would often go to the hospital. It would be like a normal thing. And they would just send him right back home, tell him to take his medication and go on with his day, right? So we kind of got used to it. Well, Christmas of 2012, I get a call from my mom saying that my dad's in the hospital. And I didn't think anything of it. It's kind of late in the afternoon. I had seen him the day before. I'm thinking all is well. He'll be fine. I'll see him tomorrow. That wasn't the case. December 26th, at the mere age of 26, I had to be the one to tell the doctors to take my dad off of life support. And that was the hardest moment, the hardest time of my life. And I hope that I pray that I don't have to do anything like that ever again. And you would think that would be the gut punch that would change me, that would shake me, that would inspire me to do things that I want to do, inspire me to follow my dreams and not live life day by day. But I didn't. I went on with the same shit for the next year and a half. And I'm at this pool party. And sometimes it's the littlest things that really get you. I'm at a pool party. I'm in the worst shape of my life, so I got this towel like wrapped around my stomach, basically. Might have some arms, but I got a gut with it. And I run into an old friend, and we're talking, just catching up on old times, and I must admit she kept it real with me. She looked me up and down and said, "Jess, what happened to you, man? I thought you were a personal trainer." And I don't know why, but that shook my core. That was just, I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. I was avoiding mirrors at the time because I didn't like the way I looked. I was unhappy with the way I looked. And for somebody to actually be real with me and point it out and say, "Man, you got big, Jesse. What happened? I thought you were a trainer. How could you call yourself a trainer and you look like this?" And they were absolutely right. How could I? And that was the thing that really kind of shook me up. And I said, "Man, how have you let your entire life go? Like, you don't have anything under control, not even this, what you know." So that's when I decided to make a change and get my life back on track in all aspects. So I enlisted the help of some trainers in the area that I knew and I had worked with because I was so far gone. I needed that extra motivation. I got some help from a gentleman named Steve Greenberg. Steve, if you're listening, thank you. He helped me with the nutrition piece, and I never looked back. Yo. And I've been enjoying this fitness life, the bodybuilding to American Ninja Warrior to MMA, everything that I've done, man. It has been so awesome. I started obviously really working on my company and training. And I finally left Enterprise, and I couldn't be happier. I'm doing something that I love to do every day, and my business is taking off, and things are just coming around. I now can chase around with my kids and not be out of breath. I look in the mirrors. I just came from South America, Colombia, on the beach with my shirt off. Y'all may have seen some of the pictures I posted. I'm going to Hong Kong, Italy. I will have my shirt off. I love my body. I love who I am. My motivation, my confidence is better. Like, I'm up. I feel good about myself. Guys, if you feel good about yourself, who else is gonna stop you, right? You're on a mission to success, to win, to lead. So look, if you get anything out of this, just take this, right? Do what you love. Follow your passion. Follow your dream. Don't let anybody hold you back, because life is too short. Now, if this inspired you in any way, all I ask is to share it. Pass it on. Maybe it'll inspire somebody else. Thanks.